wee flamethrower pattern. Now, this is technically a variant on a flag called Life on Mars. So even the Martians like to do a wee bit of flight hen. Now they're still on the size 8, so this is a size 8 partridge patriot double in size 8. The thread that I'm going to use is the Uni Thread 80 in fire orange. Now we're just going to come in a couple of mil behind the eye of the hook, and we're just going to run our thread on. This is called dressing the hook. I'm just going to run the thread down sort of way halfway and remove your waste tag of thread. Now at this point you can use an oval silver tinsel for the tag and the rib, but I prefer to use the ultra wire in silver. Just think it lasts longer. So just break a wee bit of that off. Just going to offer this up to the hook and on top, and then work your thread down until you're sort of way in line or just slightly past the points of the hook is always a good measurement. Then I'm going to come around with 5 turns of the silver wire to create the tag, and on the last turn bring it up and in between the two hooks. Now at this point just keep it in underneath the hook and just work your thread forward. So we're in about halfway or so. Just be patient with your wire. If it's caught up like that, then you can just bend it back. Start to work your thread back down. Now on the way back down I'm going to catch in a length of large Silver Holographic tinsel for the rear body. Just offer it up. Just working our thread down, tied up against the tag of the wire, and then back up. Now at this point you could put on some varnish or super glue if you wish on the thread before winding up the Silver Holographic tinsel. Now we just want to have a wee check at the back, just make sure we're nice and straight against the tag. Then you're just looking overlapping turns. Follow this around with your thread. A couple of turns will catch that in. Come in, you can trim away the waste. Then you're looking 3 turns of your silver wire up the rear body. Follow this around with your thread. A couple of turns. Again, then break away the wire. Now the mid hackle, you're looking an orange cock, or in this case we'll use an orange hen hackle. So strip some of the rubbish off at the bottom. Now I'm going to come down a wee bit further on the hackle just to get the length of the fibre that I want to see in the mid hackle. So just offer this up the hook, come around with a turn, that catches your hackle in. Then keeping your thread tight, just fold your tip of your hackle back, take 3 or 4 turns up over the top of the hackle. That's it locked in. You can break away the tip, and then we'll just wind the hackle. It's going to look handy there, so we'll just catch this off on top. Right, at this point just work a thread forward the front part of the body, just nice and tight. Now get up to here, because the stem on the hackle's thin, you can break that away. Right, there are the hen hackles. Just open them up a wee bit, just to let you see the wee fly. Just come in with a brush, the way back down. We're going to catch in a rib. Just catch it in underneath, and just work the thread back down, and then we're going to put on our wing. Now the wing is orange bucktail, but I want to show you something. I bought this at a car boot sale, and I want to show you what the person that was doing beforehand. Just going to bring it in front of the fly. They were cutting off the fibres halfway up on the tail. Now try not to do that. Always try and cut your fibres. I'll just show you. always try and cut your fibres. Just bring it up to the camera. Right down here at the bottom. Like that. Just cut it right down there at the bottom. If you cut them halfway up, you're just going to constantly get cut ends in your bucktail all the time. Right, just take the orange bucktail, and you can have this as long or short as you like, that's up to you. I'm just looking at around about twice the length of the hook over the back. Just follow this around with a pinch and loop, bringing your thread turns forward. Just have a wee check, then come in and trim away the waste ends. Now in this point you can put in some silver crystal flash, and I'm just going to use the micro flash in red. Just come around with a couple of pinches. Now you can have the two strands in, or you can fold it back and have 4 strands in the wing. I'm just going to work the thread back down, tied up against the mid hackle. That's a wee bit too long, so I'm just going to come in and trim those away. Now the front body, on the original pattern, you're looking some Claret stub. What I'm going to use here is the SLF in Claret. Now it's more like a purple. So just remember, when you're taking your dubbing, just spin your dubbing on, finger and thumb the one way. I'll just slide that up. Then bring your dubbing round. Just get you started. Then you can tighten up if needs be. Going along, just a wee bit shy there, so just going to take another wee pinch. Just end up with your thread in front of the body. Then we're going to come up with a rib. We're looking 3 turns on the front body. Looks like the rear. Follow this around with your thread. 3 or 4 turns will catch that in. Bend and break away the wire. Now the front hackle, you're going to claret it. Yet again, this is a hen hackle. We're just going to check the length, because we don't want this to be, we want it bleeding in to the mid hackle. That's the way I like it. Now I'm just going to come around with a turn again, just fold the tip back. Just tie up over the top of your tip on the hackle, and you can come in, you can break away the tip, and just stroke the fibres back and do 1 turn in front of the other. Now, turn and a half, 2 turns should be plenty at this point. You're going to get plenty of movement in this wee pattern, especially with the hen hackles. Now, just catch in your hackle nice and tight. Because the stem is thin, I can break that away, and then just tighten up over the top of the stem. Wee fibre there. We'll get him to sit nice in a minute. Now you can finish the flat that. You don't need jungle cock. I'm going to put it on, so just take some of your, if you've got some jungle cock, just take your cape. Select 2 eyes, just get them lined up in your hand, and at this point I don't try and strip these fibres off, I just fold them back. Then we're going to offer them up to the hook, and just use the you'll see me have done this before, just use the hook of the eye of the hook, sorry, as a divider. Then just come around with some loose turns to see what way we're sitting. Just check the length. Just have another wee check. Yeah. Now just hold your 2 jungle cock eyes. Take a couple of turns heading down towards the eye of the hook. Then just come in and fold back the stems. And then just work your thread back up. Now you're just going to build up your head at this point with the fire orange thread, or if you don't have fire orange thread and you're using a different colour of thread, you can always finish off with a glow bright floss number 4. Now, keeping your thread tight. You can break away the stems of the jungle cat. That's just going to give you a nice clean cut. Then you just come straight in with your whip finishing tool. And throw in a whip finish. Put your thread nice and tight. Come in and trim away your tan thread. Now, actually what we'll do is we'll get some glow bright floss number 4 to show you, or sorry, number 5. So let's sit here and we'll put this over the head just to show you the brightness that you get. So just tie up over your waist end, come in and trim away the waist tag of glow bright floss, and then just come straight back in with your whip finishing tool and just the one whip finish. Put your thread nice and, or your floss nice and tight, then trim away the glow bright. Now the first coat onto the head, just a wee drop of super glue. Now, going to use super glue, guys, don't let it touch your dressing. You'll ruin your hard work. So let's work this the way right round. And then once that dries, I'll always hit it with a couple of coats of varnish, 2 coats of varnish, just to seal everything up. So there you go, guys. That's suppose technically it's a variant on the Life on Mars flamethrower. So tie a few of those up, guys. It's always good, sorry, to have a claret and orange sort of a colour combination in your box, you know. So you get the chance, tie a few of those up. As always, many thanks for taking the time to view the video. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. If this is the first time watching one of the videos, please consider subscribing. It's completely free. It's no charge at all, and hopefully you enjoy it. Until next time, guys, please stay safe, take care of one another and your families, and I'll see you on the next one.